movement class with breath focus and calming you down to get ready for a really sound sleep tonight. Yeah? Okay. And then once I'm finished class is when I'll reconnect with you, and if you have any questions, you let me know, and we can chat about what we're all in right now. This is just, I don't know, this new normal is not normal. And it's okay to be feeling all of the feels. So why don't I get started? Yeah? Hi to whoever has joined. I'm going to get started and light some candles for ambiance. And honestly, it's just really soothing to do. I also have some calming tea. So if you need to grab some water or whichever, I don't know if wine is appropriate, but whatever works. I hope the lighting is okay. Yeah? Okay. Let's get started. I'm going to ask everyone to stand. We have been spending so much time seated with our hands kind of here or our hands kind of here. Normally they'd be here, but like we can't touch our face anymore, so my hands are just like here all the time. So let's start standing. And there'll be portions of our practice where my eyes will be closed. And this will be one of the times. So having your feet hip-width distance apart and your arms down by your sides, go ahead and close your eyes. And just feel your feet rooted to the ground. And borrow some energy up from the ground. And feel that energy rising and uplifting you. And then you can start to play with shifting your weight side to side. And no matter what exercise or sequence that we move through this evening, you can't be good or bad or right or wrong at all, at any time. And so we just kind of shift side to side, and we just start to feel our body with gravity and space. And then we shift our weight forward and back. And we start to tune into what is working. Our toes, our ankles, the knees, the legs. And then that trickle effect through the whole body, forward and back. And then we come back to our center. And you can remain with your eyes closed. However, if that's too much and you prefer to have your eyes open, that's totally fine too. And just find a soft object to have your focus on. Placing your hands around your rib cage, and we'll begin to breathe, which I know sounds a lot easier said than done. And so we'll take a few moments to get into our breath. And so we'll take a long and full inhale in through the nose, and then a full exhale out from the mouth. And we'll do that again a few more times. And inhaling in, and then exhaling out. And I'd like us to think about how we can collectively keep going and breathing. Hold space for each other during our practice tonight. Even though we're practicing physical distancing, we're practicing social connection. I love imagery in my classes, and so you can think about an accordion expanding with the breath, or like a fish and you have gills. And in Pilates, we practice full inhales and full exhales, and this really expansive breathing in the sides and the back and the front of the body. And then from here, allow your arms to just rest comfortably down by your sides. And we'll turn our head to the left. Yeah. Some maintenance and stretches for the neck. And then we'll bring the head back up. And then we'll do the same thing over to the right. And the right side will have a very different reaction to this than the left. And it's not a good side or a bad side. And then we come back up. I had a class today with my teacher, and she was like, oh, and it looks to me like your left side is really congested. And I was like, yes, my left hamstring is very congested. Reach your arms all of the way up towards the ceiling and take this big stretch. And then take a side bend, and you feel one side lengthening and one side shortening because your spine is designed to move this way. And then we come back up, take your time. And then we'll side bend again to the other side. Yeah. And then we'll come back through center. And from here, we'll lift our shoulder blades up and up and up and up and up. So it's like, I have no neck. And then the shoulder blades glide back down your spine. And then the arms come down by your sides. And from here, we'll take a roll down. So I'll just sort of turn my body so you can see as we lower our body down. And you can soften the knees. And you get to where you get, yeah? And then the head becomes really heavy. And your arms become really heavy. And then you take that long inhale here. And you ride the exhale as you roll back up, taking your time. And the last thing to lift would be the head. And then the arms reach back up again towards the ceiling. And from here, let's interlace the fingers and press the palms up and up and up. So really lifting tall, as if you guys like all had a top knot. And then you're lifting tall through your top knot. And then we can take our heels off of the earth and off of the ground as we lift our heels up, up, up any amount. And then we lower the heels back down. So some footwork. And we lift the heels up. And we lower the heels down. We'll do this one more time. The heels reach up. The arms reach up, the head is reaching up. And then we'll lower the heels down and lower our arms down. From here, taking our shoulders, and we're going to lift our shoulders up, and then take our shoulders back, and then take our shoulders down. And then take the shoulders forward, and up, and back. And down. And I really encourage you to take your time. Rather than thinking quickly, my shoulders go back, up and down, and we do it again, there's so much information being given to you as your shoulders reach up. And then all that information given to you as your shoulders go back, and then as your shoulders go down. So really releasing the joints, creating lots of fluid through your shoulders and your neck. Yeah. And then from here, taking your left heel off of the ground or off of the mat or off of the floor. And then I'd like you to lift your left knee up any amount. So really challenging your supporting foot and ankle, and then what that's connected to, your hip, front and back and glute, and balance. And then we'll lower the leg back down. And then we'll do the same thing on the right. So the right heel lifts, and then the right leg comes up, and the right knee comes up. And then you commit to standing in that on that left side of the body. And then of course we remember to breathe. And we exhale it out. And then we lower the foot down. And the arms reach all of the way back up. And then again, we'll take a roll down. So the arms come down, the head comes down, and you're really taking your time to lower yourself down. And so moving through the bones and the vertebrae of your spine and letting the head become really heavy. And then softening the knees. And so you're making an even smaller shape in the body now, like a ball, let's say. And then we roll back up. Finding length through the spine and the arms reach back up. From here, we'll interlace the fingers and place the hands back behind the head, and then press your head heavy into your hands. So you can feel that connection from the back of the head to the back line of the body. Yeah. And then from here, we'll take a side bend to the left. And then we continue to press the head back into the hands. And could you go a little bit more? And a little bit more. And then we slowly reach back up. And then we'll do the same thing on the opposite side, drawing the head back into the hands, lifting tall through the head, rooting down with the feet as we take that side bend over to the right. And could you explore your end range here? Could you go a little further? Maintaining that connection with your head back into your hands. And then we'll slowly reach back up and up and up. The arms reach back up towards the ceiling and then down by your sides. So we'll keep building on the sequence of standing on one leg. Yeah. And then we'll make our way down to the mat. Don't worry. We'll take that left leg again and we'll lift that left knee up. And then from here, we're going to open the left hip out to the side. And your arms can reach all the way out in front of you or open out the side. And then we'll bring the hip and the knee and the leg back in, the arms down by your sides, and then we'll lower the leg. And take a deep breath in, and a full exhale out, and then we'll do the same thing on the right. So we lift that right leg up and up and up and up and up, and we commit to our standing hip, and then we'll open, so externally rotate that right leg out to the side, and the arms can go out to a T, or they can reach all of the way up towards the ceiling. That was my sound effect for me losing my balance. And then from here, the leg and the knee and the hip come back, and the arms come back, and we go back down together. Yeah. And then from here, we're going to move into a lunge situation now. So if you need to make some room, please do so. But before we do that, let's go with both feet and lift the heels up and down. So some calf raises here. And I'd like you to really think about the conversation that you're having with your feet to the ground. So really focus on lifting the heels up and then lowering the heels back down. And the action of picking the heels up and the action of pressing the heels back down. We'll do that one more time. The heels lift and then the heels lower back down. Yeah? Okay. So we lift that right knee and right leg back up, as it's already been a couple of times already in our practice. And then from here, we're going to take that leg back behind us into a lunge shape. And you're the decider of what that lunge shape looks like to you, whether it's really big or really small, it doesn't matter. And then you're going to take that leg and you're going to pick it back up. And then we're going to take it back down into a lunge. And then we're going to lift it back up. And you can use your arms. Breathe. And back up. And then one more time. Back. And up. And we'll lower the left foot down. Same gesture, same sequence with the right leg. So we'll lift the right leg up, 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 up. Breathe. And the leg goes back any amount into a lunge. I don't know if you can hear my ankles crack there. And then we'll pick that leg back up. And then we take it back into a lunge. And you can add your arms. And back. And up. And let's say one more time. Back. And up. And then we'll lower that foot down. One more sequence standing. So you're going to take that left leg again. And then you'll lift the left leg up and you'll cross it over your right knee. So you're opening the front of your hip up. And then from here, imagine like you were sitting in a chair. Yeah. This is like what I'm doing with my hands right now. And then your arms can come down and we come back up. And we'll do that again. So the left leg comes up, the left knee comes up, we cross over and we come back down and down and down. This is the exercise that I practiced with my teacher earlier today when she said that my hamstring was congested. And then we come back. Yeah, so we're just going to decongest our hamstrings and our whole body this evening. And then we come back up. And we'll do the same thing on the right leg. So the right leg comes up, the knee comes up. We cross over the left leg. So we're really focusing on opening this hip up. And then we go down into our imaginary chair. And then we come back up. And so the fluid practice of lifting the leg up, crossing over, and then having a seat. And then just one more reminder to breathe. And back down. And then we'll do one more time here. So the leg lifts, the knee bends, we cross over, and we have a seat. And then we come back up. Yeah. And then from here, we'll come down onto our mat now. Arms are going to, I'm just going to move my mat out a little bit away from the candles. So arms are out in front. And then go ahead and lift your heels back up off of the ground. Bending the knees. The hands will come down onto your quads, onto your thighs. And then could you go down a little deeper? And then the hands come to the mat. Yeah. And then we'll release one knee to the mat and then release the other knee to the mat. From here, swing your legs around. You can pick left side or right side. And then you'll have seat. And then from here, lower yourself down to the mat. Yeah. And then we can think of that shape that we just created standing, and let's do that here. So we'll take the left foot, cross it over the right knee. You can reach your arms out into a T. You can take your arms back behind you. You can also place them onto your belly. And then let's take this figure 4 stretch position to the right. And then you can take your hands on top of that hip and like press into that hip to open it up a little bit. Breathe. And then trying to maintain this, we roll past center and then over to the left. And you take an inhale here. And that full exhale out. And then we come back through center. I almost knocked the table over, so I kind of had to do a little maneuver of that knee. And then from here, let that left foot come down. And then the right crosses over. And then we reach over to the right. Inhale. Full exhale out. And then we roll past center. And then we take that shape again over to the left. And here you can take your hands onto that right hip and open up the front of the hip. And then we'll come back through center. Yeah. And then release the foot down to the mat. And draw one knee in towards your chest, and then draw the other knee in towards your chest. Wrap your arms around your legs. Staying open through the collarbones. Relaxed in your face and in your jaw. And you can gently rock side to side. And you can take your head and your neck with you. How are you guys doing? Yeah? Good? And this gentle rocking side to side, back and forth, feels really nice on the low back, and it's also just really soothing and calming for your nervous system. And then we come back to center. And taking our feet together and knees together and inner thighs together. Our arms are down by our sides as we push the backs of the arms down into the mat. Just like we had our feet down on the mat at the beginning and we sort of borrowed that energy from the earth. Same thing applies here as we press our arms down. We're pulling that energy from the earth up into the backs of our arms. And then we extend our legs away from us. And we flex the feet here. And then we point the toes here. And then I'm going to ask you to flex your left foot. So finding like as much dorsiflexion as you can with the left as you point the right. And then you switch. So you're flexing as much as you can with the right and pointing as much as you can with the left. And switch. And switch. And switch. And And then we'll take both feet into a dorsiflexion, so flexing the feet, pushing up into the ceiling as if you could stand up on the ceiling. And then pointing the toes and bending the knees and taking your heels to your seat. Reaching your arms up towards the ceiling, interlace the fingers. Together, we lift the head, neck, and shoulders up. Taking the hands back behind the head and really aiming to get the tops of the shoulder blades off of the mat. So we're committing to this chest lift. And then from here, lower the right foot to the floor. And take the left foot and cross it over the right knee and open up the front of the hip. From here, lower the head, neck, and shoulders down on an inhale. Exhale, chin to chest, lift the head, neck, and shoulders up, and then take the right foot a couple of inches up off of the ground. And then we'll lower the right foot down as we lower the head, neck, and shoulders. Yeah. And then we'll do that again. We'll draw the chin to the chest. We'll lift the head up, 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 up as we lift the right foot a few inches, like not a super big gesture, off of the ground. And then we'll lower back down. Yeah. And then we'll go one more time. Chin to chest, the head, neck, and shoulders lift. The right foot lifts. We commit to the head lift. We commit to the shoulder blades up off of the mat. And then from here, that right leg, let's kick that up towards the ceiling. And then flex the right foot. And then from here, we'll lower both legs down halfway. And then back up. And like, this gets pretty burny, and like, I don't know if you can tell that I'm super shaky, but that's normal. And you do as many as you can do until you poop out, and then you like take a beat, and then you just come back to it. And then we'll go 2 more times. Down, down, up, up. 1 more time. Down, down. And then up, up. From here, we'll point the toes of the right foot. Bend the right knee, lower the right foot to the floor, and lower the head, neck, and shoulders, and just have like a stretch second. Breath in, and breath out. And then from here, extend the left leg up towards the ceiling, and then we'll lower that left leg down. Drag the left foot up along the mat, taking the right leg and crossing it over the left. So we're opening up that hip, yeah? And then from here, hover the elbows up, chin to chest, pick the head, neck, and shoulders up into your chest lift. So coming up into flexion, and then aiming again to get the tops of the shoulder blades off of the mat. Eyes on the front of the body, face is relaxed. And then that left foot, a couple of inches up off of the ground. And then from here, we'll lower the foot down. We'll lower the head, neck, and shoulders down on an inhale. And then exhale, we'll lift up together. And then we'll lower back down. Coming up on the exhale. And then lower back down. How are we doing? Can you feel this? Yes? Good. Up. And back down. And like normally in a class setting, I would sort of like have my hand on your shoulder. And so imagine that like my virtual hand is on your shoulder, encouraging you to keep going. For 3. And then we go up for 2. Almost like you love it. Almost. And then we'll go 1 more time. A lot of effort noises. Totally fine. We come up and we hold. Maintain this if we can. And then we'll extend that left leg up towards the ceiling. Can you pick the chest up a little higher? And then from here, we'll lower the leg down, lower the head, neck, and shoulders, and then come up together. So we're making this a little bit more of a challenge on this side, or a progression, if you will. And you can choose where you'd like to be in your practice tonight. And then up. And down. And let's go 2 more times. Up together. That exhale takes you up. The inhale takes you down. The exhale takes you up, and then we're going to hold here. Bending the left knee, pointing the toes, lowering the foot down, and lowering the head, neck, and shoulders. Hang out here for a sec. Breathe. Exhale out. Maybe just like take a moment. Reflect on your day and like what have the delights been and those like small moments of humor maybe in your day. And then we can release that right foot down, and then we'll take a sway to the right. And so you're feeling that stretch all through the left side of the body, this twist. And then try not to over effort anything. The legs come past center, and then do the same thing on the left. And then coming back to center here. Yeah. The arms come up towards the ceiling, and then just reach the arms all of the way back behind you. Extend one leg out nice and long and extend the other. So taking this long stretch into the front of the body and the back of the body. Then the arms reach back up towards the ceiling, dragging one foot up along the mat, dragging the other, one knee in towards the chest, the other knee in towards the chest, and the arms again wrap around the legs and sway a little side to side here. Yeah. And again, here's that invitation to close your eyes if you'd like, and really experience this rocking side to side. And could you take your head and neck with you? Could you make this a little bit bigger? Yeah. And so let's do one more of whichever on whichever side. And then come back. And then from here, it's okay to use some momentum, because I'm going to ask you to roll up. So if you're familiar with rolling like a ball in Pilates practice, we roll up. Yeah. And then we'll change our position and come on to all fours or come on to quadruped. Feel free to grab a sip of water or tea, or like I said at the beginning, maybe it's wine. I don't know. No judgment. So coming on to all fours. Hands underneath the shoulders, and then the knees are in line with the hips. I have a blanket underneath my mat just for added cushion for my knees. So if you need to grab a blanket, or you can also double up your mat, which is fine too. So hands underneath the shoulders and then knees in line with the hips. Let's round the spine. So we do so by drawing our head down and our tail down as we change the shape of the spine, and we lower the head down as much as we can as we push the floor away. So creating your cat shape or your C curve, and then arching the spine. And we'll do that a few more times. So rounding the spine and the head coming in at the same time. I often talk about this as an opportunity to think about your head and your tail as limbs, and they're moving at the same time, coming in together, and then making the opposite shape, and then extending and lengthening. And then you can open up your chest and lift your eyes and like be bright and wide. And then come back into your shell, round. And then we'll go one more time here in this arched position. So this extension of your spine. And let's take a child's pose. So hinging your seat all the way back, sliding your arms out in front of you and letting your head go. and sway a little side to side here. Yeah, good job. So we've had about a half an hour-ish of movement. And so we'll go for like another 10 minutes or so. And then I'm going to bring you down and do some body scan and some breath work and some meditation. And that should end our practice for tonight. Yeah? Okay. So a couple more times here. And you can make this more dynamic. So you can sway a little side to side, to the left, to the right. And then coming back to center, lifting your eyes up and your head up, and then rolling yourself back up to all fours. Then organizing yourself here, so those hands are underneath the shoulders. Yeah. And then reaching your right arm up towards the ceiling. So getting some movement in through your thoracic spine, in through the middle of your back, and into your rib cage, and you reach up, 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 up. And then bending the elbow, and then returning the right arm back down. So we'll yield with the right, and then up comes the left. Hi. And so we move through the ribs, we use our head, we use our eyes, we push down with the floor, and then we'll bend the elbow and return back down. Pushing the floor away, extending your right leg out long and away from you, lifting your right leg up. And then again, really committing to your stabilizer side, so your left side, so that hip isn't like dipping off to the side. So we're committing to that left leg and left hip and left side working, and then can we flex the right foot? So just like we practiced that footwork in our earlier sequences. And then from here, can we start to circle? Down, up and around. And the eyes are at the front of the mat. And you can really see a circle in your mind's eye, and you're getting the edges of the circle. I don't know if the circle like has edges, but you get what I'm saying here. And then we'll pause, and then go in the opposite direction. And really think about like minimizing your expectation. It's not a very big circle, so it's small. And then we'll hold, point the toes, and lower the leg to the ground, and then bend the knee back in. Take your seat to your heels, reach your arms out in front of you, and just start to roll your wrists around. Wiggling the fingers around. And so where you're not holding your phone or on any sort of like device, you can feel your fingers and your wrists flexing and extending. Yeah, rolling around. Feels good. Feels really needed. And then we'll do the same thing on the opposite side. Yeah? So we'll take the hands down, and then we'll roll back up. So the left leg extends out, and we commit to that right hip, and our eyes at the front of the mat, and we pick our breastbone up, and we lift the left leg. And we're anchoring that left hip down to the ground. We flex the foot so we can feel that heel connect to that insertion point where the hamstring and the glute meet. We're spreading the fingers out, pushing the floor away. And then we start our circles. You can close your eyes if you like. And we'll circle in this direction 3 more times. We'll go for 3. Breathe for 2. And 1. And then in the opposite direction. For 3. For 2. one, and then point the toes, lower the leg, and bend the knee back in. Taking your seat to your heels, taking your elbows down to the mat, and then from here, taking that right arm and reaching that right arm back up towards the ceiling. Moving as much as you can through the ribs, taking your seat to your heels, and then reaching that right arm all the way out in front of you. Big stretch and reach. Head is down, eyes are down. Breathe. Lift your eyes, lift your head, look at that right arm, reach it up, and twist and rotate up. And then that right arm reaches back out and all of the way down, energy reaching out from the fingertips. Head is down. We lift the eyes up and we'll slide that right elbow in. We'll yield with the right. We'll go up, 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 up. Lift the left arm up. And then reach that left arm all the way out in front. And the head, neck, and shoulders go down. Take a breath. On the exhale, the left arm reaches back up and up and up. And that left arm reaches all the way back out in front yet again. And then we'll slide that left elbow and hand back in. Roll back up to all fours. Yeah. And then let's take our hips and we'll start to draw some hip circles here. And if this is too much on your wrists, you can of course come down onto your elbows. And you can make this really big or really small. You can, get your arms and your shoulders and your head involved so it becomes like a whole body exercise. Breathe. And then changing directions. And just feeling fluid and connected in your body and in your mind. And then we'll come back to center. And then from here, take one foot in front of you. So I'm taking my left foot in front, but it's up to you. And then from here, we'll take one hand on the knee and then the other hand on the knee, and then we're going to pick up the front of the spine. Yeah. And then we'll reach our arms up towards the ceiling, and then we'll hinge forward to open up the front of that hip. And then we'll have some extension. So we're going to pick our eyes up and our head up, and then reach our arms back and our head up. And then the eyes come back and the head comes back. And then the arms come down. And we'll switch. So that left leg comes back. And then the right big step up. One hand on the knee, other hand on the knee. Lifting tall through the front of the rib cage and the front of the spine. Shifting the weight forward. Reaching our arms out. Reaching our arms up. Lifting the head, neck, and shoulders up. And then stretching the front of your abdominals so that you can find extension. And the eyes come up and the head comes up and the arms come down. And then we'll take that right knee and right leg back. Swing your legs around. Have a seat. And then from here, taking that right knee and the right hip and opening it up the side, and then pick up your left hip right up off of the ground. So I'll go here so if you can see. So right hip goes down, left hip goes up, arms are out in front, and then we rotate down on the left hip, and then the right comes up. And then that left comes up, and the right comes up. And 100% you're gonna be off of your mat, or you will have moved some degree. for 3, and 2, and 1. Yeah. And then we come back, and then we'll find ourselves back on our mat. Hands to the knees, feet hip-width distance apart-ish. And then from here, we'll take our elbows and draw them in close to the side of our body. Draw the chin to the chest, and begin to round the spine. Down. And then lift the eyes and lift the head, and pull back up and up and up and up and up. Draw the chin to the chest, round the spine, lengthening the arms. And then pulling back up and up and up and up and up. Let's do that one more time. Chin to chest, round the spine back. And then lift the eyes and lift the head and pull back up. Extending the arms out in front of you, and then rolling all of the way down to the mat. Lengthening one leg out nice and long, and then lengthening the other. Taking one hand onto your chest, and then one hand onto your low belly, and breathe. Breathing in, and breathing out. And I'm going to get out of this, but I'd encourage you to really stay with this and with me for a couple of more minutes. And so keeping that hand on the low belly and then the hand on the chest, and closing your eyes and allowing your eyes to move back and forth. And there's a book that I really love, and it's called Taking Root to Fly. And I'm going to read a little bit from this to you. So going back to closing your eyes and moving your eyeballs around, they're like large globes floating in deep sockets of bone. And I'd like you to visualize your eyeballs in the various directions. And then you can visualize your eyeballs as spheres and growing to expand into various spatial dimensions. And you can imagine your eyeballs rolling downward towards your feet. And then fill the spaces at the bases of their skulls. So now you're coming back up to your head. And then the spaces fill the crown of your head. And they're moving at a very comfortable speed. Not too quick and not too slow. And I think that I went to low battery mode, but I just need to press the button. So stay with me. Okay. I'm figuring this out. Okay, so like you're back up in your head and your eyeballs are just like floating in space. Yeah. And so now you're going to go to the space between like your ears and your nose. Yeah. And then that's now in a different dimension. And then you go back to your head and you feel really grounded in through your head. And then it fills the spaces under your eyelids. And you're in this rhythm with your breath and your eyes and feeling very connected. And you can keep your eyes closed, and you can just let your eyes now come to a resting position. And going back to that expansive breath in and out. And keep breathing. And I really encourage you to stay quiet in your bodies now, where you don't have to do anything or be anywhere except here, which is comforting, I think. Again, breath in and breath out. You can gently open your eyes or keep them closed if you wish. And now taking your feet to the floor so your knees are bent. Reaching your right arm up towards the ceiling and then all the way back behind you. And then taking a hip sway in the opposite direction. So swaying your hips to the left. And you can pick your right hip up off of the ground. And your right shoulder reaches. And then you roll back that right hip to the ground. And then again, you pick the right hip up. So you're reaching, and you're rolling. And you're stretching, and you're breathing. And then you roll back. And we'll go one more time on the right. So you're reaching your right arm back. But you're picking your right hip up as you're twisting to the left. And then you roll back. And the right arm comes down. And the legs come back to center. And now the legs sway over to the right. And the left arm reaches back behind you. And then you pick that hip up as you're reaching, and you're reaching, and you're reaching, and you're like, I want to continue to roll. And then you come back, and the hip and the spine come back, and then you pick the hip up and the pelvis up, and then you can roll. And then you can roll back. And then let's go one more time. As you pick the hip up, and you roll and you stretch. And then you roll back. And then that arm that's up towards the ceiling, the left arm reaches back up and down by your side. Bring your legs back to center. And then you can bring your knees back in towards your chest and give yourself a big hug. And then rock a little side to side here. And then I'll read you one more. I feel kind of like I'm reading a bedtime story. So as we've created all this space and this ecologically rich inner land to move through, which has been our practice, and this happens by the very process of traveling through the rainforests and deserts and the mountains and ocean beds, as well as the superhighways of your own inner realm of physical being. Deep breath in and deep breath out. I have a feeling that the video is going to turn off at any time soon. So I am just going to have another sip of tea. I also love to end practice with aromatherapy. And I'm not using this to plug Detox Market at all. I actually love this product. And it's the Optimist, and it's a hydrating mist, and it just smells so good. So I'm just gonna be like, and you can imagine that I'm like spraying it all on to each of you. And my glasses are kind of like misty now. Anyway, so I'm gonna end this now. Thank you so much for joining me in my living room to your home, and I thank the Detox Market so much for inviting me to bring you some movement and breath work and stretch work, and just an opportunity to find some connection to your breath and to your own physical practice. So I wish you a lovely, restful sleep, and whatever week is going to come, stay safe, stay healthy, stay mobile, and stay connected. Yeah? Okay. I should put my glasses back on because I can't see. So that's going to happen, and then I'm going to get really close to the camera, and I think I'm going to end it now. So thank you so much. Oh, I shouldn't be kissing with my hand, so I'll see you guys soon, yeah? Okay. Bye. Bye, Alex. Bye, Detox Market. Bye, everybody. Thank you so much. And I'm going to end now. And then, babe. So 400, I don't want to delete video. So I think I'm just gonna close it.
Share to story?
Share to story? I don't know.
Live video ended. No, just close it.
Okay.